So I wanted to get on here and basically talk about how spirituality and believing in things that aren't fact can be very detrimental to a sane mind or someone suffering from mental illness. Why? Because me getting the appropriate help for my mental illness, for my schizophrenia, was extremely delayed because I grew up believing in spirit, God, um, the supernatural, and then it evolved into new age stuff, psychics, astrology, horoscope, and things like that. And I took my experiences and my vivid dreams and my sleep paralysis and my voices and all this stuff to be spirit, the astral realm, um, just nonsense. All right. So if you haven't guessed already, this is not a video that is going to uplift supernatural. So if you are an avid believer in God, if you are an avid believer in astrology, an avid believer in the spiritual world, souls, basically anything that you can't prove due to fact, and everything goes based on a feeling or an individual experience, something that's not blind tested in different sources. Blind testing meaning like scientists in Russia and scientists in USA doing the exact same test and blindly and getting the same results from it. Um, Things that you can prove. For example, the theory of gravity. Here's the theory of gravity. It's called a theory because I guess you can always question anything in science, but I just proved with a test that the theory of gravity is real. Things like that. That's the thing. Those are the things that I now gravitate towards. I used to be extremely an extreme spiritual nut, a spirit nut. And the reason why is because I was trying to come up with answers for this world and my existence. Like, why am I in existence? What is my purpose? What is out there? How did I come to be? I don't believe in Adam and Eve, that the entire human population came from two people who had three sons and are one race. All these races and all these over 7.7 billion people from two people. I don't believe in talking snakes, cursed apples that curse women down the line. I don't believe in new age spirituality anymore. I don't believe in aliens anymore. New age spirituality has a lot to do with aliens, extraterrestrials, at the astral realm, psychics. I just was trying to find answers. Why? at a very pivotal moment in my life in developing my career and where I was going to go from that point forward, and what about life was supposed to make me happy, what was the purpose of my life. And from a scientific standpoint, a lot of the answers to this question is I don't know. And people are uncomfortable with that. So they have to come up with explanations instead of I don't know. And that's not always the healthiest option. It was my extreme episodes with mental illness and taking medication that actually stopped the occurrences that gave me a huge epiphany to all of this and basically made me an atheist. So if you're not an atheist, you're probably not going to like this video. Or maybe you can believe what you want to believe and still watch the video and still like it. When you are so heavily brainwashed to believing in a specific way of life, okay, first of all, there are a bunch of different religions that come with a bunch of different rules on how to live your life that people abide by, whether they are healthy or beneficial to society or not. They do it out of self-sacrifice, out of a feeling of obligation to serve a higher power that has never been proven. It's bullshit. I grew up in church, black church, when I was very little, went to Sunday school, sang in the choir, was Christian. Around 22, I evolved to New Age spirituality and believing in that. And because of my background with Christianity, I really did believe in spirit and soul. And when I came across New Age spirituality, it made more sense to me in understanding how things developed and were created. So I adapted to that way of life. And that's bullshit too. Just had a huge epiphany when I took that medicine and the things that I was experiencing. One day I'm going to go on here and talk about in detail what my schizophrenia is really like. It's a little bit embarrassing. It got me into a lot of trouble with people in real life because I took things to be real. It got me in trouble. It got me in trouble with an actor. And that is my line of career that I went to school for. And you can ruin your reputation and all of that and get blacklisted in the industry if you mess up. It's a very fickle industry. And, you know, in the entertainment world, people aren't very kind to people with mental health issues. Also, the mind battle of excusing my depression for just laziness when your body and mind just can't fucking do it, can't do it, or when you do it, whatever activity it is, it feels like hell. You're not lazy, you're sick. And yeah. I I don't believe in anything that can't be proven. And because modern medicine can stop vivid hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, episodes, depression, mood swings with hardcore science, chemicals, medication, that's where my faith turned to. At first, it was a little bit disheartening because it's like there's no such thing as karma. Um there's no like basically good things are going to happen to shitty people and shitty things are going to happen to good people. And there's no judge in the sky that's orchestrating how someone's life should go. It's literally luck. You could be born into it, you could achieve it, you could never have it, you could get it later in life. Life is chance. And swallowing that pill and understanding that prayers are just you in a room talking to yourself in wishful thinking, it does as much help as wishful thinking. Nothing is going to help unless you actually put it to action. Get up and do something, say something. Um, Prayers and well wishes don't do shit. There are children still starving, people still homeless, presidents like Trump, people with mental illnesses that they didn't ask for. I didn't ask for the mental illness that I have. I was on a roll with my life and it just came crashing. Life isn't fair. It can be sweet, it can be bitter. I'm an atheist. Um, it's hard to wrap your mind around there's no creator. Like some people will argue everything has a creator. Says who? You say that because it makes sense to what you're surrounded by. You see people creating things and you see creators, so you make the assumption that a creator created all of this. That's putting two and two together with a lot of leaps and not a lot of fact checking and experimenting, and it just leaves out a whole bunch of holes. There's just a lot of holes in the assumption because you can't prove anything. And if you talk about God or spirit being a feeling within you, it's so individual. Nobody has the same experience. If you say, what is God? To one person, God is something else to another person. We can't even agree on Jesus, whether or not Jesus is white or not. People imagine a white Jesus when they pray. People imagine different things when they pray to God. People have different religions. So I was really trying to find myself and my purpose and understanding what life is through spirituality. And they are placebos, basically. Spirituality and religion is something that makes you feel better, but it's not fact. Um, I it's a sensitive topic for me to go into my mental illness and the things that I was experiencing because it's like a lot of personal business, a lot, and people on the internet, they just like don't care. They judge or they laugh or they criticize on topics that are really sensitive because they can, because people get balls through the computer. So maybe one day I'll talk about it, maybe not. I already talked about what happened to me when it affected my life, and I put someone else's life in danger, presumably, because I thought I was being spiritually attacked. But the mind is fascinating because it can hallucinate in ways that I didn't even know could until it happened to me. Like hearing the real person's voice, seeing the real person's face, and really thinking that it's them. And then if you're brainwashed with religion or spirituality, then you have even bigger cognitive dissonance to reality because you base it in just years of what you've been telling yourself. So, yeah, I feel that religion and spirituality and anything that is not fact is very detrimental to people with mental health issues or without mental health issues. Religion has caused more wars than anything. And I think that feelings of gratitude, mindfulness exercises, writing down your feelings, talking out your feelings. So maybe prayer, as long as you understand that it's not a message to anything, talking out your feelings to sort your thoughts, those things are helpful. And in those ways, when people turn to spirituality to soothe themselves, it's a placebo effect. But there are some positives to the processes of healing anxiety that I agree with, but I don't agree with lying to the self and thinking that there's a higher power that's going to help you, because there isn't. I think that's all I need to say. Watch my videos.